Okay, 4-4, linear inequalities in two variables. We're going to be graphing in this lesson. Before we even talk about this lesson, I want to talk about how we graph things, okay? We all know how to graph a linear equation. If you don't, I'm going to yell at you. Okay, y equals 3x plus 1, okay? Your slope is 3. Your y-intercept or b is 1. Let's graph it. Beep, bop, boop, bop. Beep, bop, beep, boop. And beep, bop, beep, bop. Okay, your y-intercept is 1. It crosses right there. To find the next one, we go up 3 over 1. Boom, we have our line. That's simple. If you don't know how to do this, now what we're going to be talking about here is graphing inequalities. And this is important, okay? Focusing on this in particular. If you see this, okay, greater than with a line underneath it, it's going to be a solid line, and it's going to be shade above. Okay, so the line's going to look like this, and I'm going to shade above it. Whereas this one here, since it's less than, it's still going to be solid, but this is going to be shade below. Okay, so I graph this and then shade below it. Okay, now let's focus on what if it's this. If it's just this and just this. Okay, this line's going to be dotted. Okay, dotted, shade below. It's going to be a line still, but it's going to be a dotted line, and I'm going to shade below it. Whereas this right here, this is going to be a dotted line, and I'm going to shade above. Okay, so I'm going to dot that line, and I'm going to shade above it. Okay, there you go. All there is to it, essentially. Okay, it's all about recognizing what you're graphing and how to graph it. So let's look at this here. What is the solution to this inequality? Okay, well, let's graph this. The y-intercept is -1, your slope is 1, boopy bop. Okay, since it's less than, you're gonna shade below it, and it's a solid line. Boom, there's your inequality right there. That's simple. Let's focus now on another one, okay? But more specifically, I want to talk about this right there, okay? That inequality is less than, so it's going to be a dotted line, and it's going to be shade below. Whereas this right here, solid, shade above, okay? It's all about interpreting what you're doing here, okay? All about looking at your inequality and interpreting it. The Science Club sells t-shirts and keychains to raise money. How many t-shirts and keychains could they sell to meet or exceed their goal? Their goal is to make $500, and they want to make more than that, okay? $10 for a shirt, $2 for a keychain. You want to make more than $500. You're going to work with only one quadrant. Notice how y is by itself. Boom, there's your slope. Boom, there's your y-intercept, okay? Or you can easily find the x and y-intercept, okay? Well, the y-intercept was 250, boom. The x-intercept, when you divide 500 by 10, that's 50, boom. And since it's greater than symbol, it's going to be solid, shade above. It's every point that's above it, okay? Look at the try it piece. Will the Science Club meet their goal if they sell 30 t-shirts and 90 keychains? Okay, well, here's 30 t-shirts, and then 90 keychains. Well, here's 80. It looks like they will, because 90 is like somewhere around here. Since it's above the line and it's in the shaded region, you're good to go, okay? It's all about looking at where you're figuring out your solution, okay? Let's look at this one here. What inequality does this graph represent here, okay? Well, notice how the y-intercept's -3. Your slope is going to be 1. Boom. Since it's shade above and it's a solid line, it's going to be greater than or equal to. Boom, you got it, okay? Let's look at this one here, okay? Your y-intercept is 0. Your slope is going to be 1 over 4, 1/4, okay? Y, and then 1 over 4x plus 0. Since it's shade below and dotted, it's going to be less than. Boom, you got your inequality. Okay, let's look at this one here. Your y-intercept, that's 1. Your slope, let's figure it out. It's crossing right here. -2 over 1, so it's -2. It's solid, shade below, so it's y less than or equal to -2x plus 1. All there is to it, okay? Now, if it's one variable, it's a vertical or horizontal line. Notice how it's greater than or equal to. shade to the right of it. If it was less than, you shade to the left of it, okay? And example 4 continued. When it's y, it's a horizontal line, shade below. Since it's just less than, it's a dotted line. Let's graph this real quick. Beep, bop. Okay, here's -2. Okay, dotted, shade above it. There you go. X is less than or equal to 1. Here's 1. Solid, shade to the left. All there is to it. It's that simple, okay? But the key to this is understanding this. If you know how to graph linear equations, you can easily graph linear inequalities. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit for you guys to absorb it because that is basically the lesson. One more lesson to go, 4-5. Good luck and Godspeed.